In a world where you could be anything, who would you be? You'd be exactly who you are right now. I know this because we already live in that world of unlimited, infinite possibility. We're going to get into how I know that and how you can harness the power of this knowledge to attract what you want right after this. So stick around. What's up, guys? Namo Himalaya. Stephan from Shared Reality here. And today we're going to talk about the multiverse. And no, I'm not talking about Marvel or any other superhero shit or any work of fiction. No, I'm talking about the actual, real multiverse that we are living within. While the existence of parallel universes may not be definitively scientifically proven yet, certain quantum phenomena have been observed that suggest we're living in just one reality out of infinite possible realities. Take the double slit experiment, for example. Let's pretend you're standing in front of a wall with two large slits in it and another solid wall behind that, and you're just chucking paint-covered tennis balls at this wall. Some will bounce off the front wall, sure, but others will go through either the left or the right slit and hit the back wall. And when you're finished, you're left with two painted stripes on the back wall, roughly the same shape as the slits you threw the ball through. Now, the actual experiment is the same setup, but with light. So you have a board with two slits in it and a light shining through it onto the wall behind. Light is made of particles called photons, so each particle should travel through one of the two slits, just like the tennis ball, and be reflected on the back wall on either the left or the right side, and end up looking roughly the same shape as the two slits. But that's not actually what happens. It actually creates an interference pattern with the brightest light concentrated in the center and bands gradually fading out from there, like you would expect a wave to behave. So scientists theorize that maybe the particles of light were interfering with each other to create these waveforms that result in this pattern. But even when this experiment is recreated with a particle gun shooting just one electron at a time at the wall, the same interference pattern still shows up. Weirder still, when scientists recreated the experiment and set up a device to observe the behavior of the electron, the result completely changed, and the electron behaved exactly as originally expected, leaving two stripes on the back wall and no wave pattern, just like the tennis balls. It's seemingly completely random which side the particle will end up on. So the act of being observed appears to collapse the wave function, as if our observation alone influences the way matter behaves. Many physicists hypothesize that this is because every possible outcome exists simultaneously, so it's not actually the wave function collapsing, since all outcomes are equally true. It's only when we observe the electron in one position that it becomes a reality for us, because we are viewing it from our vantage point in this universe. In a parallel universe, there's another you observing the electron in a different position. And in another parallel universe, there's a third you observing the electron in yet another position, and so on and so forth ad infinitum. I actually have an app based on this theory that I've used for years to help me make decisions when I feel like leaving them up to fate. It's called the Universe Splitter. You put in two choices that you're torn between, like go home now or stay out late, find a new job or keep working for the same company, whatever it is. You input those choices and then hit Split Universe, and it actually triggers a particle gun in Geneva to fire a photon at a partially silvered mirror. Similar to the double slit experiment, the photon will both pass through the mirror and bounce off of it, but we will only be able to observe one of these behaviors in our universe. So the app assigns your choices to one of the positions and then gives you the results of the experiment back in real time. In this universe, you may be told to quit your job, and in the other universe, you're told to keep it. While the app makes the concept really tangible, you don't actually need to observe a machine firing a photon in order to split the universe. In fact, every decision you make could branch off into more and more parallel universes. Some where your life is very similar because your choices have been more or less the same, and others where your life is wildly different because of the vastly different choices that version of you made after your universes deconverged. So that brings us to my favorite multiverse theory, the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. This interpretation implies that all possible outcomes of quantum measurements are physically realized in some world or universe. So basically, anything that physically can happen will happen at some point in some universe, which is pretty much the premise for all multiverse theories, that in a space that stretches on for infinity, every possible outcome must be represented somewhere within it, simply because it's infinite. What makes the level 3 multiverse many worlds interpretation different is the location of these other worlds. Instead of being physically beyond our reach, outside of our Hubble view or observable universe, these other worlds exist in our same time and space, but in different dimensions. Scientists have discovered 11 dimensions, of which we only experience 4. Some hypothesize that if we were able to access these other dimensions, we may be able to access these parallel universes, or at least confirm their existence. The deeper you dive into the physics of space, the more metaphysical the science seems to become. The brain world theory asserts that our universe exists like a thin sheet floating upon a 3-dimensional membrane, with multiple sheets of other parallel universes in different dimensions floating above and below within the bulk, that greater amount of space. This would explain why we only perceive 3 dimensions within our physical reality, because it's tied to that membrane. This theory is super compelling to me because it kind of exactly reflects what I saw during a mushroom trip I took when I was 16. In it, I saw like this huge zipper in front of me that I unzipped to see a series of floating membranes stacked one above the other. And I knew that each was a potential reality. And I desperately just wanted to get back to my reality, even though I now knew that it wasn't necessarily real, but it was familiar to me and I was just way too scared to step into the unknown. And this was long before I had ever heard of string theory or the multiverse or any of the sort. So I truly feel like I did unzip the fabric of the universe in that moment. The science is all still theoretical, but spiritually I feel like the multiverse is a confirmed reality because I've seen it. So how does knowing any of this help us here in our 3-dimensional physical reality? Well, in an infinite universe, the impossible becomes probable. So you have no limitations. You have no excuses. Because some version of you has somehow achieved the exact life you are trying to manifest for yourself. If you can visualize it, you can see it, it's happened. Just maybe not here in this universe. The things you so desire have already happened in one of these infinite parallel universes. And if space is truly infinite, then that's a scientific certainty. So how do you doubt your manifestation when you know undoubtedly it is achievable for you because some version of you somewhere has already done it? The question then becomes, how do you align with that frequency to transport your energy into the parallel universe of your choosing? Einstein hypothesized that 2 wormholes conjoined with an opening in each universe could create a portal allowing travel between universes, though he noted that the human body would most likely be unable to survive that journey. Those of us lucky enough to know we're spiritual beings having a human experience don't need to worry about the physics of going through any wormhole portals, because we can simply move our energies through them. My master always calls times of great change where the energies are moving rapidly opportunity portals, and urges us to take advantage of opportunities before the portals close. That's why we call achieving what would normally take 10 years in the span of only 2 a quantum leap. We're literally moving our energies out of our physical universe into the quantum field, into a parallel universe. That's why we have the Mandela effect, where people remember events differently, books and movies have slightly different titles, things are just a little off from the way some people expect them. This is because they're remembering their past from a different parallel universe. So knowing all this, are you going to let some other you live the good life while you're here still struggling, still striving for better health, more wealth, and searching for a greater sense of purpose? Or are you going to align with the frequency of your preferred future and actually take that quantum leap into the life you want? Remember the electron from the experiment we talked about? It exists in every single possible spot as a wave until it's observed and becomes a particle, physically manifested in this reality. It's a reminder to be mindful about what you're observing in your own life, because what you see and experience is going to be a direct result of what you focus on. Well guys, I hope that made sense to you. I know explaining quantum mechanics isn't usually my strong suit, but I just think the multiverse theories are so interesting and there's so much potential for manifestation when you know about how to utilize that quantum field. So I hope you got some benefit out of this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that little notifications button too, because I'm committed to bringing you 3 new videos a week so we can all continue learning, growing, and not only survive, but thrive in 2022 and beyond. Thank you. Love you.